Jumping out to Walt Disney World now. Big news by way of Splash Mountain. Some of the biggest news of this week, in fact, is that they are getting ready to shut down Splash Mountain forever. In fact, it is official by way of Disney World. Cinema Blend's Dirk Libby reports that Disney Parks confirm Walt Disney World's version of Splash Mountain will close forever, January 23rd, 2023. Only the closing date for Walt Disney World was given, so it appears that the Disneyland version of Splash Mountain has not been set for closure quite yet. That being said, both versions of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which is what it is being rethemed to, have been set for a late 2024 grand opening. So the Disneyland version of the ride is unlikely to stay open much longer. The closing info came along with new details about the first scene of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. New concept art was released that showed Tiana introducing guests to a gang of animals who will apparently be key players in the story of the ride, which will act as a sequel to the film. With Walt Disney World Splash Mountain going down first, one assumes that means probably that it will see its version of Tiana's Bayou Adventure open first as well. Technically speaking, anytime in the second half of 2024 qualifies as, quote, late 2024, so we could see the Orlando ride open in midsummer or early fall, with the Disneyland version coming later in the year. Garrett, with the Princess and the Frog infusion coming to this iconic mountain at Magic Kingdom, what sort of elements would you like to see this overhaul bring? No doubt we've talked about it several years ago when Disney sort of just pulled the trigger and said, hey, we're retheming Splash Mountain all of a sudden. It kind of surprised everybody because it just came out of left field at a time that was certainly playing along the deep tensions in societal functions at that moment. And now, all these years later, we're still waiting for this thing to show up. Now we officially have a date in which Splash Mountain is being closed down, and then, of course, later in 2024, as mentioned, the Tiana version coming to life. What sort of elements do you want to see? What kind of a ride do you want to see? No doubt the mountain is going to remain in place. But you hoping they change anything different from within?
Well, I'm fully expecting it to be a water attraction.
What?
Whoa!
Yeah, I know, right? Kind of wild. Who would have thought of a Bayou on tracks? No, I can still remember the several shows where I was positioned in front of Splash Mountain doing the live show, and also the several vlogs I'd done where I was reporting on it, and it was, man, it seems like it was yesterday when it was like 2 years ago, honestly. But I have two areas that I want to sort of, I don't know, be creative with. On the ride, I fully expect the queue to be transformed and have, sort of either some jazz music or some sort of, fun Southern tones to it, just some fun, lively music. And, full paint job. They're going to, I'm sure that they're going to take some of the audio animatronics that they can and, use them again. They did it the first time when they took the characters from, the American Celebration and turned it into Splash Mountain all those years ago out at Disneyland. So I would expect that. But they really need to do a great musical score. Everyone has I've seen several videos putting up when you're going up to right before the drop, it's Friends on the other side, then you drop down, and then it's the final song is down in New Orleans on the steamboat. So I'm sure several of the big elements will remain on the ride just because they're so big that to move them out would probably cost more money than to, just reuse them in another way. So I expect that. I really hope that the audio animatronics that they use of Tiana, Naveen, and Louis are the quality that they have out at Tokyo Disney, not the Frozen Adventure at Norway. Don't get me wrong. I love having a weird off-colored face with a different skin tone for the neck and arms and all that. But if Disney really wants to, set the bar and be able to compete against Epic Universe, which is around the corner, they need to bring in high quality experiences like what Tokyo Disney has done into the attraction. So I think it's going to be a water ride. It's going to have some musical elements. They've mentioned that there is going to be a brand new song, so I fully expect that. I don't think it's going to be a retelling of the movie, which a lot of people have speculated. From everything I've read and seen, it's supposed to be what happens after. So
right,
I don't think Ray's going to be there.
Yeah.
What?
No spoilers.
Yeah. so sorry. Well, we don't know yet. But I don't expect to see Ray popping up. But you might hear his voice in the background, and sort of like, oh, Ray's coming down to visit just with no Evangeline. But I hope that area kind of changes. I would love for a Tiana and Naveen meet and greet, or a Lewis meet and greet to come out of that area, because Woody and Jesse used to meet over there, and I love that meet and greet. It was a lot of fun, but it was like Toy Story with Splash Mountain, but then there's Big Thunder. It kind of was all kind of weird. But a Tiana or just a Princess and the Frog in general meet and greet would be great. You can even have Dr. Facilier show up. And I would honestly love one day for there to be a Tiana's Palace somewhere in the Magic Kingdom. It's more likely going to happen at Disneyland, but I would love a place to get some beignets, and just like something similar to what you might see at Café du Monde in New Orleans, just some authentic Southern food. Because you got Pecos Bills, and you get a solid taco and burrito there, kind of. But I would love, some po' boys, some jambalaya, beignets, just the works. I think they can transform that whole area, but I'll just stick with having a nice new attraction with some nice new additions on there. Give it a nice paint job. Don't just make it look like, oh, it's a, how they'll do a Christmas overlay on Space Mountain. I don't want to see an overlay. I want it to
Space Christmas.
It's a brand, Space Christmas. I want to feel like it's a brand new attraction that just got built, not something that's been there for 3 decades plus, and it's just being used to, help. I want it to feel real, and we've talked about this before, where we wish Tiana could have her own attraction that wasn't Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
But we're not at the top just yet. We got to wait for Tyler to get that CEO role. Then we can push our agenda forward.
Put us into power.
But I'm excited to see it happen. But I could fully expect 2025, honestly, for this attraction to open, because it was like Guardians of the Galaxy is coming soon, like 4 years later. Or I remember Ratatouille coming out spring 2021.
Oh, what about Tron?
Well, I mean, we had a lot of things happen that slowed down that progress.
Winners don't make excuses.
Oh, jeez.
Winners also don't get people killed.
No, you work through that stuff. No, I hope that with now Bob Iger at the top, and he can use his leadership and get the Imagineers moving a little bit more productively than how JPEG had them, that this attraction comes fast, it comes put together quite nicely, and won't run into issues like we've seen when attractions do open up, such as all Galaxy's Edge. So
the whole thing.
We'll wait and see, but it's going to be a Bayou of a time.
Woo! And as Ray says, loves his women with the big back porch. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want that
one up.
I want a T-shirt that says that.
Please do.
Yeah, please wear that T-shirt to Disney.
I will own that T-shirt. Give me that T-shirt. I will own that. I'll even wear a hat, and it's like, don't make me lap my butt, and then it's like his little toot. Like I'll raise my dude.
His belle Evangeline. I tell you what. Well, you let us know. Are you looking forward to the new version of Splash Mountain, Tiana's Bayou Adventure? We know it has split the Disney population. A lot of people are sad to see Splash Mountain go, but excited to see the new and improved version of Splash Mountain. We now know that the Magic Kingdom is getting started on it first, so let us know. Is that something you're going to go out of your way for? We'd love to hear from you in the comments.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.